Sports Jawn. This is Ryan Wolfson. In this episode or segment, I'll be talking about my NFL season predictions and playoff predictions. Let me just go through a couple things. When I come up with making these predictions, I take a couple things into consideration. For example, as you seen in my previous episode or segment where I talk about my power rankings, that's how I go as far as wins versus losses and matchups throughout the year. That's how I come up with the records. What I also take into consideration is basically, except for a few years, the last 25 years, there's generally 40% new playoff teams every year. So that's generally 5 to 6 new playoff teams every year. I generally try to take 6, but I always I take at least 5. Also, there's usually a case where a team finishes first and finishes then last, and team that finishes last finishes first. Of the teams that finish last, that finish first, I think the Patriots, the 49ers, the Bears, they probably have, and the Raiders, they're probably the 4 teams that I think have the best chances of finishing first. But the team I think will probably finish first is the 49ers, and it's because of how easy their schedule is. And just 2 years ago, they were a really good team. So that's why I think they're the safest bet among those teams. Of teams that finished first to last from last year, I think there's the one team to me that really stands out is the Houston Texans. I could also see, like I said, because of how stacked the AFC West is, I could see the Chiefs finishing last. I don't think the Chiefs would, but if you're asking me to bet on which team would be finishing first to last, I would say it would be the Houston Texans. And if you were to bet which team finished last and now is finishing first, I'd say the 49ers. Like I said, there's all about 6 new playoff teams each year. I have 6 new playoff teams, but I'm just going to go down division by division and you will see my standings. I have the Bills 1, I have the Patriots 2, I have the Jets 3, and I have the Dolphins 4. I don't think that the Jets or Dolphins are going to be really good competitive teams at all. I do believe the Bills and the Patriots will. I think the Bills are a lot better than the Patriots, but I think the Patriots have a very easy schedule for them. Then we go to the AFC North. I got the Ravens first, the Bengals second, the Steelers third, and the Browns fourth. I don't think the Browns are going to be very good, but I don't think the Steelers are going to be much better this year. And I love Mike Tomlin. I hate when people say he should get gone, but I just look at offensively, they don't have much. Their defense is, even though it's really good, it's, in my opinion, not as good as Baltimore's in their own division. They don't have as good of offense as Cincinnati. I think both Baltimore and Cincinnati will have double-digit wins. I think this might be the first time, and a blessing in disguise, that Pittsburgh finishes with a losing record, and maybe that'll allow them to get one of those young stud quarterbacks in next year's draft class, which is very deep. AFC South, I have the Colts 1, the Jaguars 2, the Titans 3, and the Texans 4. I think the Titans and the Texans are bottom tier, closer, and I think the Jaguars and Colts are upper tier in the division. I think Colts and Jaguars are basically middle-of-the-pack teams that will be in every game. Like I said, there were a lot of concerns I had with Houston. Tennessee just, again, was the worst team in the league last year. That's for a reason. You're not going to generally become a good team overnight. It's very unlikely that happens. In the AFC West, I have all 4 teams with double-digit wins. That's how good I think this division is. But I have the Chargers first, the Broncos second, the Raiders third, and the Chiefs fourth. And I'm taking bold swings. I know. Don't bet against the Chiefs. I get it. But you know what? Tom Brady didn't win the division every year. And if you really believe in Kansas City, and Mahomes is the next great, they're not going to win it every year. And this is the year that they could take a step back. And it doesn't mean that they had a bad season. And you know what? Not everyone is Tom Brady and the Patriots. And I realize that. This dynasty could be over. They might not be a Super Bowl contender for a few years, or they could be back there this year. You just don't know. Now let's head over to the NFC. Let's start with the NFC East. I got the Eagles first, the Commanders second, Giants third, Cowboys fourth. I don't see Giants or Cowboys being good teams. I think Giants will be competitive, not the Cowboys. Commanders, I think, will take a little bit step back, but fortunately for them, they've had another easy schedule. Back-to-back years, easy schedules. I think the reason why they'll win games this year is their quarterback and defense don't like their offensive playmakers. And I think the Eagles are just the most stacked team in the NFL. And they would have to have a lot of injuries for them not to be as good. But I think they have a really tough schedule this year. Next NFC division, the NFC North. I got the Vikings first, the Bears second, the Lions third, and Green Bay fourth. I think Green Bay's a distant fourth from the rest of the teams. I think the Lions might have the hardest schedule in the league. I think the Lions are probably a better team than the Bears, but the Bears have an easier schedule. Again, I think people are sleeping on the Vikings because they're not sure what J.J. McCarthy is, but if J.J. McCarthy is serviceable, they're probably the second best team in the NFC. Let's go to the NFC South. I have the Buccaneers first, the Panthers second, the Falcons third, and the Saints fourth. I think the Saints are the worst team in the NFL. I don't think the Falcons are much better. And I actually think Carolina will get double-digit wins with Tampa Bay this year. I'm much more bullish on Carolina than other people. I think they're going to be a top 15 offense. So I do like Carolina's chances this year. In the NFC West, I have all the teams with winning records like the AFC West. It's just a stacked division. But I have the 49ers going from last to first. Then I have the Seahawks in second. I have the Rams in third. And the Cardinals in fourth. The reason why I have the Rams in third is if I knew Matthew Stafford was going to play healthy the whole season, I'd probably have them first. But there's just too many question marks there for me, so that's why I have them third. So, these are my playoff seeding for the NFL. In the AFC, I have the Ravens 1, the Bills 2, the Chargers 3, the Colts 4, the Bengals 5, the Patriots 6, the Broncos 7. That means the Colts, the Bengals, and the Patriots will all be new playoff teams. And that means the Steelers, the Texans, and the Chiefs don't make the playoffs. Now in the NFC, I have the Buccaneers as the number 1 seed, the Eagles the number 2 seed, the Vikings the number 3 seed, the 49ers the number 4 seed, the Seahawks the number 5 seed, the Commanders the number 6 seed, and the Panthers the number 7 seed. I have the 49ers, Seahawks, and Panthers as new playoff teams. I don't have the Lions, Packers, and Rams in the playoffs. So those are the 6 teams that I have new this year, and the 6 teams that I don't have making the playoffs this year. And again, we'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. But it's like I said, there's this formula that you kind of have to go about picking new teams and teams that you don't think are going to make it. And usually it's the case is that there's about 6 new teams that make it every year. And they're the 6 teams I think are going to make it. And the 6 teams that I don't, I kind of gave you reasons why I thought they were kind of vulnerable and they might not make the playoffs this year. So that is my NFL season, my NFL divisions, and my NFL playoff predictions. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. And hopefully this will help you better understand the upcoming NFL season. I'm Ryan Wolfson. This is the Sports Jawn.